But on the grounds that the Communist Party had done it, totally false. This Reichstag decree, you can look up on Google, and I recommend it. Reichstag decree, Reichstag fire decree, I think it's called. Rescinding every measure of the Weimar Constitution on an emergency basis having to do with, this is explicit, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of association, all suspended. No restraints on the police, and privacy of the postal system, communications. That's on February 28th, I guess, the day, the fire was on the 27th, February 28th. Now, still elections coming up, but with, by June, a one-party state. I think Bush and Cheney have to go for a number of reasons. One of them is that, frankly, if there's a 9/11, while they're in power, another 9/11, then I think you will not distinguish this country very much from the police state in Germany in the summer of 1932. So very urgent, not just to try to impeach them, but to get them out. If we don't try to impeach them, then we accept the legitimacy of the criminal moves they've already made. It turns out that whereas I was worried after the next 9/11 that they would turn NSA on us, it turns out they did that on September 12th, back in 2001. They've been doing it for 5 years now. And these other things. Okay, so the torture, clearly illegal, whether you think we need to do it or whether you not need to do it. If you needed to do it, you need to change the law because it was clearly criminal to be doing this, as has been understood. The NSA wiretaps, clearly illegal. There are those who say, well, maybe they should do it. They did it totally against the law. Without any, so you're accepting then, not just a monarchy, you're accepting, or even an elected monarch or an almost elected monarch. You are accepting a man who thinks of himself right now as a dictator. And if we don't tell him otherwise through Congress and through the public in general, he is. And future presidents will be the same if they need it. So we have to do whatever we can to challenge, to get back some degree of a rule of law and of the Constitution. And we need right now to avoid an attack on Iran, the use of nuclear weapons against Iran. It must be said, congressmen are not to be faced with this a fait accompli with the rest of us on the day after. They have to be saying right now, no, there should be hearings on it, but also no funding for attack on Iran. Horace Hinchey actually introduced such a bill last year, got 150 votes for it, more than I would have guessed, but that has to be renewed. And this, finally, this 30,000, 40,000 thing, which I think, as I say, is to, for disastrous reasons, we should be saying right now, absolutely not. Whatever we think should be the direction in Vietnam or in Iraq, whatever should be done, this is the wrong direction. This president, after this election, in view of not just polls, in view of the reality, in view of a non-delusional recognition of reality, the direction he's about to take is the wrong direction. And the only way to stop that, and I think the public absolutely does not want that, the only way to stop it, we can't stop him from doing it, but to move it back is to get him out of there. There must not be an expansion of this war of the kind that he's probably about to make, not an expansion into Iran, and we've got to roll back the assault on our Constitution. Bush has to go not because he's stupid, I don't even know whether he is or not, but because he is dangerous and he has to be gotten out of there.